As you guys know, we started this new portfolio just 6 weeks ago with $10,000. We're already into some positions that are up 84% AMD, 82% Micron. These positions were actually up in the hundreds of percentage points, I think just a week or two ago. The market is starting to downtrend a little bit, so we're coming fresh off all-time highs here. All in all, this is turning out to be a very successful portfolio, and I have very high hopes for it. Okay, guys, let's talk. We got a few things that we're going to cover in today's video. Let's get started. So number one, there are two stocks that I just bought yesterday. I bought both of these stocks because it's not just one politician, but several politicians purchasing these stocks. So in other words, the overall sentiment as far as just the general politicians go, the majority of them are purchasing this stock as of, late. Number two, I am living proof that you guys can absolutely quit your jobs from following the politicians' stock trades. I've already done it, and I have been doing it for 3 years. And I just wanted to take a section of my day and in this video to just talk about that and talk about what's possible, okay? And go through my story of where I started and where I am now. And number three, we have a fresh batch of new stock trades in from Representative Brian Babin and Representative William Keating. And I'm going to be reviewing their trades and basically showing you through my thinking process as far as like just sifting through brand new stock trades that come through from the politicians. So I think that'll be a good learning opportunity for everybody watching this video. One last thing before we get started, just hit that like button. That's all I ask of you guys. It really helps us grow the channel. So, alrighty. So here are the stocks that I actually purchased yesterday. I bought one share of ServiceNow, ticker NOW, and I purchased one share of Bitcoin Bitwise ETF. So ticker BITB. This is just an ETF that basically tracks the price of Bitcoin. Now I'm going to jump into both of these and basically provide my reasoning as to why I am in these stocks in the first place. These are two active positions in the portfolio. I was just adding on to my shares. So these aren't any brand new positions that I'm starting in the portfolio right now, but I want to kind of give you guys a refresher as to why am I even considering adding to these positions. And it's also going to tie into another segment, very important segment in this video that I want to show to you guys. So just stay tuned. So let's jump in. I think we got ServiceNow pulled up here. So right now we're on Altoneer.com. This shows all the politicians' stock trades. Let's look at this. So this is filtered just to ServiceNow stock. What do you guys notice? Let's scroll down. This is just the front page. This is since December 25th. Okay. We have some selling going on, okay, a little bit of selling. But here's the thing. Ro Khanna sold. He actually ended up purchasing the stock again. Josh Gottheimer was selling, but then he actually came back and started purchasing the stock again. And then we have Mark Wayne Mullen purchasing in here. So here's what I can say. Look at the last couple trades. Purchase. We've only had one sale for the entire year so far on ServiceNow stock. And that's a politician that ultimately ended up purchasing the stock just a few months later after he sold it. Here's my thinking process with this. Yes, there are politicians in here already that purchased the stock that would basically signal me to purchase this stock based on their purchase alone, which by the way would be Mark Wayne Mullen and Ro Khanna at this point. I think those two would be pretty solid indicators just alone. But the fact that we have several politicians adding this stock to their portfolio is just a really good sign. That's why I want to add it. Yeah, it's as simple as that. If the sentiment as far as all the politicians buying goes is positive, I'm adding it to the portfolio. Okay, so now let's move on to Bitcoin. You're going to kind of see the same exact trend, except politicians are really loading the boat now. So if we go all the way back to just October of 2025, okay, we're talking several months ago at this point, these politicians are all buying. And it's relentless too. And one of my favorite politicians, Marjorie Taylor Greene, is buying. So that makes it all the more compelling for me. So again, same thing. Lots of politicians buying it. Not a lot of politicians selling it recently at all. I'm adding it to the portfolio, and I'm going to continue to add it and build out my position in Bitcoin, basically. I just do it through ETFs. So right now, the Bitcoin ETF in the portfolio is up 9%, makes up around 3% of the portfolio, and I have about $375 in that one. So yeah, it's not the biggest position. It's also not the smallest position. I'm not exactly sure how far I'd like to grow this one to. Maybe a 5% overall weighting in the portfolio, and then just kind of sit on it and wait and see until, politicians start selling it to start taking profits and stuff on that. ServiceNow makes up 7% of my portfolio, almost 8% at this point. Pretty much break even on it. As far as that goes, honestly, I would like to get ServiceNow up to probably a 10% overall weighting in the portfolio. So I just need to buy, I don't know, a couple more shares of that over time. And, it makes me happy to see that it's trading flat. Because, when you want to purchase a stock, you want it to be not going up. You want it to be actually going down. So if this was negative, it'd actually be a little bit more, it'd be better because I'd be buying in at a discount, basically. That's my thinking process that goes into, buying ServiceNow and the Bitcoin ETF for this round of new purchases. Okay, so now I want to take a minute to share with you guys something that's currently blowing up right now on the internet. And that is a post on our Twitter account. And I want to show you this. I'm showing you guys this on purpose, with purpose, because it's important. So this post almost has 1 million views, which is huge for our page. We got like 20,000 followers in one day. I think almost 30,000 actually at this point. But anyway, crazy day, crazy week. This is the tweet. We were right. Last month, we told you about a trend in which 5 different politicians had been loading up on Cisco Systems. Yes, this is a stock that is not in my portfolio. Do I wish I had it in my portfolio? Obviously. But there are several scenarios that are playing out right now in the stock market, just like this, just like now, and just like the Bitcoin. There's several stocks and ETFs right now that politicians are loading the boat on collectively as a unit, and they're not selling it. And we can find those by just looking through Altoneer. So this is Cisco Systems, same situation. So it's up 43% since the post on 4/13. And the politicians buying: Ro Khanna, Gil Cisneros, Jared Motzkowitz, Rich McCormick, Julia Letlow. Let's find the original post. I think someone linked it here somewhere. I just want you guys to visualize, like what this looks like. So right here it is right here. So this is the buying that I actually saw a month ago, basically. I mean, we had several politicians purchasing it just over time, and then boom, the stock goes up. Okay. And I actually posted, let's load the Discord up here. I posted this in our research tab here. This is where I post stuff that I find to the members before I even post it to Twitter and stuff. So this is what I have. Good stuff. 6 politicians have been buying ServiceNow in 2026. Byron Donalds, Tony Wyde, Ro Khanna, Charles Fleshman, Josh Gottheimer, Michael McCall. The fact that Khanna is buying makes it even more compelling because why? He bought SanDisk 8 months ago. The stock is up over 3,000% since. So maybe this could be the next SanDisk. It could also be the next Cisco. You know what I'm saying? You guys catching my drift here? So here's also all of the politicians starting to purchase. Who knows what's going to happen here, in the future, in the coming months. These are just the trends that you got to pick up on when you're researching this stuff. And this is what I have found to work. Yes, I want ServiceNow in my portfolio. As simple as that. All right, so now I want to move on to the next section, the number 2 topic of our video, which is, can you really quit your job and invest in the stock market full time? Yes, absolutely. I am a living example of that. So I want to take you through my journey here. Okay. So I got some pictures pulled up. Some of this is just to kind of show off kind of what my lifestyle is and where I live and stuff like that. So I live in the Philippines right here. As you can see, I'm here on the beach here, Philippines. It's really hot here, by the way, guys. So it's like Florida, basically. There's no high paying jobs in the Philippines. I actually looked up how much the senators get paid here in the Philippines. And I think it comes out to like around $60,000 per year. That's like maybe a little bit above the median income in the US. Even the highest paying job, possibly one of the highest paying jobs in the whole Philippines, really isn't getting paid that much. So is there an opportunity for me to even get a job here in the Philippines that would allow me to even live in a house like I'm living in right now? I just live in kind of like an average house at the moment. So like, not really. So what would I have to do? I would either have to be an entrepreneur to live here, or I'd have to get some sort of remote job working for a US based company. The job part, I don't have to do. I run an online business and I invest in the stock market based on what the politicians are doing, and it works. And I'm 24 years old. So a lot of people don't have the luxury of being able to go and travel to another country and live there for months on end and not really have to report to any boss or, say like, hey, I need to take some time off to go fly somewhere. Like I don't have to deal with any of that. And I get to take vacations all the time. Let's see. So I went to go, this is actually a trip I did to go see the Noah's Ark in, I don't even remember what the state is, but it's in one of the states. So I went to go visit it. So that was a vacation I took within the last 12 months. I also went to Utah with Landen, our developer for Altoneer. I went there. I also forgot the name of what this place is called, but it's really cool. You can probably tell by this. If you guys are geographical traveler, outdoors people, you'll probably know what this is, but I literally forgot the name of it. But yeah, I did that. We literally spun a globe and like put our finger on the map, and we just went there. We don't have a boss. We are our own bosses. So we determine what we do. I took a trip to Manila. I stayed in a giant skyscraper right outside the Mall of Asia in Manila, right here. And then I also took a trip to Baguio. And this is all within the last 12 months. So I've taken 1, 2, 3, 4 vacations in the past 12 months. So a lot of people don't have the luxury of getting to do that kind of stuff. And my trips don't even cost that much, to be honest. $2,000 maybe per trip. So it's nothing super luxurious or anything. But the thing that people don't get to do is take the time to go do it. They're not allowed to go do stuff for an extended period of time. I can do that. Now, I don't want this whole segment to just be like me bragging about my lifestyle or anything. I want to get down to my roots. Okay. I want to show you where I came from. So I was actually a plumber, like straight out of high school. I was plumbing for like a year and a half. But see this, I'm plumbing. And then I went from that to this, from this to this. But this is a picture with Tommy G. He's a super like popular YouTuber, 3 million subscribers. And then I also, just because I got connected to him, I also got connected to David Packhouse, which is like an actor and an ex-arms dealer for the United States. And he's extremely famous. And I just happened to be in the exact same house as him for a few hours. It's like when you really start to lock in and really start to try really hard, your life can change dramatically. Like this happened within the course of 3 to 4 years. And my trajectory is just exponentially growing. So it's just keep pushing, keep trying, and don't give up. Okay, don't give up. Now, let's get into the numbers here, folks. So this is really where my life started to turn around, was when I started to invest my money. And also just like posting about the trades I'm in, posting about the politicians' trades online is what ultimately led me to get connected to Tommy G and stuff like that, and to David Packhouse. So I got connected to those guys through just posting on the internet, and just trying to expand my business. But I wouldn't have gotten there if I didn't know how to trade in the first place. So I figured out how to trade. I figured out what works in the markets, and here's what I can show you. This is an account that I don't really show on this channel, for the purposes being, I started a $10,000 account for this YouTube channel just to kind of level with everybody. So I wanted to be on like everyone's level. I know some of you big swingers out there watching this video right now, but I wanted to just get down on everyone's level where everybody can kind of sit comfortably at $10,000. And I just want to show you how fast you can actually grow a $10,000 account into a $310,000 account, which is how much my other account is worth right now. And you can see it's growing. This chart here is actually since 2023 to now, I'm up almost 103%. So that's an annualized return of 32%. All right, so my account's $310,000 right now. If I put this in the investment calculator for the next 10 years, at my annualized return rate, which is 32.27%, and this compounds every year with compounding interest over the next 10 years, the account will be worth $5 million. So if I maintain this rate of return, which is this is pretty high, over time, is it going to go down? Possibly, maybe 25%. Okay. Even still at 25%, let's see where I would be. It'd be at almost $3 million. So basically at this point in time, I'm retiring in my 30s. Okay. This doesn't even count additional contributions I add to my account every single month. And you guys should too. And that's what we're also doing in this $10,000 account for the YouTube channel. I add $100 every single week in there to buy new stocks. So let's leave it at 25 just to be conservative with the rate of return over the next 10 years. And my additional contribution, I'd say on average over the course of a year, I'm probably putting $2,500 per month into it. So let's calculate that. So I added over $1 million extra into the portfolio just with compounding interest and adding that much money per month. So we're talking like 4 million straight into my mid 30s. And then if we went 15 years, so this would be until I'm like 40 basically, 12 million. All I can say is this: it's never too late to lock in and totally change everything. All right. Like I started investing when I was 18 years old. You might have not done that. That's really not your fault. That had to do a lot with like my upbringing and my dad, who's investing in the stock market and trying to do day trading and stuff. He piqued my interest. So that's why I ever got interested in the stock market. I was 18 then. It wasn't until I was 22 until I even found the politician strategy. And before that, I was just like kind of gambling in the stock market. So it was like 4 years of just like totally clueless as to what's happening. And then when I hit 22, after 4 years of trying stocks, I figured it out. And now it is working. I can confidently say that it will retire me in my 30s. All right, we are now going to go to subject number 3, which is Representative Brian Babin and Representative William Keating have disclosed new stock trades. And I want to kind of just go through their trades and show you my thinking process when looking into this stuff. I think it's going to be helpful for you guys. So to start things off, let's pull this up. This is just the front page of Altoneer. Let's make this a little bit smaller so it's easier to see more of it. Okay. As you can see, Brian Babin, he's selling a lot. I mean, he disclosed only sales, I think. Yeah. So he did 12 stock sales. And there was one that was interesting, and I think it's this FTAI. So we'll go ahead and click on this one. So he sold this one, but here's the cool fact about that. If we go here and we look up his trades, he actually purchased this stock back in 2016, and so he's up thousands of percentage points at this point in time, which is very impressive. However, I did look at his other trades, and it wasn't very good, to be honest. Made one really good trade ever. It looks like he's selling off some of his shares. It wasn't a full sale, which means he still owns the stock. But other than that, all of his other trades are pretty not very good. And he doesn't trade that often. I've actually never even heard of this guy before until today, because he hasn't. The last time he traded was in 2022. Now there is another politician trading, William Keating. Let's pull him up. So looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trades from him. He had a golden trade. So if you guys don't know what a golden trade is, it's when a stock that they traded is under direct jurisdiction under a committee that the politician sits on, which basically means, hey, this politician more than likely knows more about this company's industry than anybody in the world. Yeah. So just to prove it to you, he sits on the Armed Services Committee. So this is a committee that basically has private briefings and hearings on, probably wars that are happening, where money is being moved around, like what companies maybe are going to win contracts, stuff like that. Well, one of the trades he disclosed was Northrop Grumman. And if you guys don't know what that is, that's a company that basically they're military, they're a defense contracting company. They get paid to build like weapons and tools for the military. So this is something right up his alley, something he would know about. And that's why it's a golden trade. So that's just what I found. That's the most interesting thing that I saw out of William Keating's new stock trades. All right, I hope that little quick segment there was helpful for you guys in terms of like just how I view things and how I kind of break things down when the new trades come out. So yeah. All right. So now I'm going to hop on a call with Landen, the developer of Altoneer. Is actually his face right here. You guys might have seen him in the Discord messaging you. That's his picture there. And then he was also on this trip with me. So that's a picture of him there in the wild. But anyway, if you guys didn't catch it, Altoneer is the website that has all of the politician trades on it. I was just using it. So yeah, we got a lot of cool features to talk about. Let's hop on the call. All right. We got Landen on the line here. What's up, Landen?
What's going on?
So what we've got in mind here is some new filtering options. A lot of these actually came from the community. Like people will tell us what kind of things that they want. So these are features that we know that you guys are wanting really badly. So these are ones that we chose out of the bunch that we think would be really useful. And as you can see, Landen here is on the trades page right now. And you can already see that there are options to filter already. So this would be stuff that would be added here. And we are upgrading the UI soon, so it will look a little bit different probably. But yeah, anyways, it'll just be added with all the other filtering options. So one of the first things that we have is a market capitalization filter. So basically what this would be is, there's different sizes of market cap. You have like nano cap, small cap, mid cap, large cap. The list goes on and on. So there's people that want to filter by small cap. For instance, I want to, because I want to know when Debbie Wasserman Schultz is buying small capitalization stocks because she's really good at doing it. So Landen, why don't you just kind of show, I think you've already been showing it, but just show them like how would you filter by, I don't know, a company state, for instance. This is kind of the process you would go through to actually filter something.
Yeah, so it would be pretty simple. If you wanted to do state or country or anything with these drop downs, you just go to the filter and then you can pick whatever you want. Say we wanted countries or companies that are based in New York. Just click it.
Companies. Yeah.
It shows you all the trades that politicians have made of companies that are based in New York.
Yeah, and just like how that drop down had all the states, it would just be like small cap, large cap, mid cap. Like it would just have all the the caps in there. The next thing we got stock price. So Landen actually came up with had a really good point. I didn't think stock like filtering by stock price. So for instance, it would be like I want to see stocks that are being traded between $10 and $20. At first, I didn't think that really mattered that much because it's really based on market capitalization. But Landen had a really good point, and that is some people in our group actually they don't have the capital to buy like a $600 stock or a $500 stock. They want to filter it by stocks that politicians are buying that are in like the $10 to $20 range. So we're going to add that kind of filter to it as well. And then another one we want to add, Landen can probably show this one where it would kind of be placed, and that is like stock percentage gain or loss since the trade was made. So do you want to kind of show where that would be located and kind of what the usefulness of that would be?
Yeah, we would first we would have a filter somewhere so that you could actually filter by a certain percentage gains and then maybe the date as well or something. But we would put it somewhere on this, like Jackson said, we're going to update the UI. A lot of this may look different, but it'll just have the percentage gain for however much that stock's up since the politician bought it. So since this trade day, it would show you how much it's up percentage wise.
Yeah. And that's going to be useful for people. Like it could be useful in many ways. Like, okay. there could be a random politician that you're trying to research to find out if they're good at trading. And you could quickly sift through their trades, like click through the pages, be like, wow, these are all up like hundreds of percentage points every single trade. Like you could kind of base it off of that. You could also just see like when a new trade disclosure comes out and there's like 50 new trades, brand new, it'd be nice to just be able to quickly filter through them and sift through them and see if any of them are up a lot or if any of them are down a lot. It's just a lot easier than just clicking each individual trade to see like what the performance of the stock has been. So I think it's going to be really helpful. I know it's going to be helpful for me. Another filter we're going to add is the date filter. So Landen's actually already been working on this one. So we're probably going to have it rolled out like really soon. Basically, this would be, hey, I want to see what trades happen between March 20th and March 30th of 2023, something random, whatever. And then it would just show you all those. Another one, the last one that we have on here is filter by politicians by trade volume. So Landon, why don't you click on a politician and go to their profile?
Okay, yeah.
There it is. So right there in the top left part of your screen, you can see like it shows the politician's photo. Landon's highlighting it there. That's their trade volume. So like what that means is this politician has traded $3 million worth of stocks. So that's, explain it simply, like he bought $1.5 million of stocks and sold $1.5 million of stocks, and that's $3 million trade volume. Honestly, this one might not be so useful for me specifically, but for some other people, it might be part of your strategy, or you might find something interesting about it. Or you could filter out politicians that don't trade very much. They might not be the best ones to track because they have less experience. So actually it might be pretty useful now that I think about it. But yeah, those are the filters we're thinking about adding. If you guys have any recommendations for filters, definitely drop that in the comments below. We'll definitely give it a look-see and see if we can add it. Landon, any last words?
Peace.